everyone, welcome to Mandatory Advising for the Fall 2016 semester. This is a follow-up to the advising and registration session you attended during the summer. The reason we have this session is because there's a lot of information we expect you to know as new students, and we want to help you out by sharing just a few of the basics. Let's start off with some tips. These are the 5 things you should do as you start your first semester here. I'm sure some of you are doing these already, but if you're not, they're good to keep in mind, like checking your Bunker Hill email every day. You can find the email link on the Bunker Hill homepage next to MAfl16. It's the same username and password, and all of your professors, all of the staff here at Bunker Hill, they'll use that email first to contact you. Make sure you also have your books for each class and attend all of your classes. If you're going to miss a class, make sure you get in touch with your instructor beforehand. The instructor will pass out a syllabus with all of your class information on it, such as the homework you have due and when their office hours are. If you don't know your professors already, make sure you know how to get in touch with them. The other people that you can talk to are your advisors. Depending on the type of program you're in, the types of classes you're taking, you might have a different advisor. For instance, if you're in a learning community seminar, you're assigned 2 advisors, your faculty member, or a professor, and a success coach. Some academic departments assign specific faculty for your advisor. For instance, if you're in the business department, you might be assigned a business professor in a couple of weeks. If you're a general concentration student, you can come see us here in LifeMap, and any advisor can assist you. If you're taking our ESL classes, your advisors will be in the assessment center in B118. If you can't figure out who your assigned advisor is, or if you have a question, please come see us here in LifeMap. We offer a few services here in LifeMap, the first being academic advising. If you come in to see an advisor, the first thing we want to know is if you're in the right program. Your program or your major determines which classes you take, and it also helps set you up for whatever you want to do after Bunker Hill. If you want to make sure you're in the right program, you're thinking about changing your program, you should come meet with one of us, either an advisor or a career counselor, and we'll talk to you a little bit more about what it means to change your major. Again, we want to make sure that you're in the right program for whatever you want to do after, whether that's transferring or finding a new job. So we might help you fill out a change of major form, or we might tell you the reasons why you should not change your major, again, depending on what you're hoping to do. If you're thinking about doing a selective health program, you have to complete an application, which means completing your application prerequisites before you can enter that program. Another support system is our Career Services Office. They offer all of the services that you see here. So whether you're thinking about finding a new job, working on your interview skills, or finding an internship, they'll be the ones who are best able to help you. The Transfer Office offers workshops here in LifeMap to help you start thinking about transfer, how you might pay for classes, or which program might be a good fit for you. They also have a transfer fair, where colleges and universities from around the area will come to Bunker Hill so you have an opportunity to speak to them in person. Colleges and universities are also always visiting Bunker Hill. Keep an eye out for them in the D Lounge, the C hallway. So if you have a question, ask them. Again, it's never too early to start talking about what transfer might look like for you. I'm going to switch gears a little bit, and we're going to talk about your transcript. The reason we want to talk about your transcript is because it's a permanent record of what you've done here at Bunker Hill. Again, our main goal is to help you be successful here at Bunker Hill and afterwards. One of the ways we track your progress here is by your GPA, which is also known as grade point average. It's a number that reflects your academic performance in school, and you can use this to show schools you might be transferring to or potential employers. Every grade that you receive has quality points assigned to it, and each course that you take has credit hours. GPA is the total number of quality points divided by the total number of credit hours attempted. This is a fancy way of saying that your job here is to earn credits, and you do that by earning good grades. The higher the grade, the more points you receive, and that will raise your GPA. We also track your completion rate while you're here. So your completion rate is the percentage of the number of credits you've completed divided by the number of credits you've attempted. For example, let's say the student took 4 classes. You'll see them over there under Fall 2015. They got good grades in 2 of them, an A and a B, but withdrew from 2. Now, since they withdrew, they do not earn credits for those classes. They completed 2 classes, again with good grades, and withdrew from 2, which means they attempted 12 credits but only completed 6. That means their completion rate is 50%. There are other grades that count against your completion rate too. So an F, it affects your GPA, your grade point average. It also affects your completion rate, You also don't get your money back. These other grades also affect your completion rate and also affect your finances. While they don't affect your GPA, you still won't be able to get your money back if you earn one of these grades. A W is a withdrawal, meaning after the add drop deadline, you've decided you do not want to take that class anymore. You can't just stop showing up. You have to fill out a form with us that tells the college that you do not want to take the class anymore. If you don't, you could earn an F in that class. An NA grade means you never attended, and an IP means in progress. You might receive an IP grade if you and your professor decide that you need a little bit more time to finish your work. You might decide on a certain amount of time, say 2 weeks or 3 months, to complete a final project or to take a test. During that extra time, your grade will be an IP, again, meaning in progress. If you fail to complete your work, however, that grade will turn to an F after that amount of time you discussed. So again, make sure you're talking to your professors and your advisors about how your classes are going, what we can better help you with, and if you have any questions. The last day to withdraw from a course is November 17th. The last day to withdraw from the college is December 8th. A withdrawal from the college means you've withdrawn yourself from all of the classes you're taking that semester. The reason I'm going over all of this is because we want to make sure you're in good academic standing. This means that you're making satisfactory progress towards your degree or certificate, and you're meeting our academic standards. So again, this goes back to your completion rate and your grade point average. For your completion rate, we maintain that you must complete 66% of the classes you attempt. Remember that fancy little formula I had up earlier? Well, we want to make sure that you're completing most of the classes you're signing up for. Your GPA is measured differently depending on how many classes you've attempted. So, if you've attempted less than 12 credits, you don't have a GPA requirement. But as you take more and more classes here, we hold you to a higher standard. If your completion rate falls below 66%, or if your GPA falls below its requirement, you could be placed on academic probation. So, here's a little quiz. Are these students on probation? This first student got an A and a W. So their GPA is 4.0, but their completion rate is 50%. Their GPA is great, but they're below the required 66% completion rate. So this student would be on probation. These other students also fail to meet either their GPA requirement or their completion rate requirement. The reason we show you this is not to scare you, but to let you know that different situations are possible with your grades. If you come and talk to us about it, we'll be able to better help you out and better prepare you for whatever situation you might be in. So we've been talking a lot about grades, but how can you see your grades? In MAfl16, there's something we call academic profile. You'll be able to see your grades in that first area that we've pointed out here, or your program evaluation, which tells you all of the classes needed for your program and how many classes you've completed. We also have midterm warning grades. Your midterm warning grades are not permanent, so they don't show up on your final transcript, but they are warning grades. So this typically means that something is happening in your class that you should pay attention to. You might receive a D, an F, or an FX. An FX means that you're failing because you haven't attended enough classes. A D or an F means that you have unsatisfactory work. Talk to your professor and talk to your advisor about this. So we're almost there, don't worry. But we have a few more tips for you. As you're reflecting on your classes for this semester, be realistic about how many courses you can successfully complete. We tend to say that one course equals about 10 to 12 hours per week of work. Also, ask for help early and often. If you remember nothing else from this presentation, remember that there are advisors and faculty here to help you. If you talk to one of us, we can help you figure it out for the semester. Know your strengths and understand your challenges. So, if you don't like getting up in the morning, we'll try to make sure that you sign up for classes later in the day, as opposed to those 7 a.m. classes. If faculty or staff recommend anything for you, follow through on their referrals. Their goal is, again, to help you succeed while you're here at Bunker Hill. So slow and steady wins the race. We don't care about how long it takes you to finish something. We care that you do it well. Finally, know that you can succeed. We're so glad you're here, and we want to make sure that we help you out whatever way we can. Okay, so if you've been sleeping during this presentation, now's the time to pay attention. Before November, you should meet with your advisor or attend an educational planning workshop. That's because continuing student registration for the next semester, that means picking your classes for the spring, begins on November 9th. Everyone will have a different day and time that they register, and this is based on the number of credits you've taken here at Bunker Hill. To find out the specific date and time that you register, make sure you check your Bunker Hill email. The students with the most credits get to sign up for their classes first. You want to make sure you know which date you register so you can sign up for classes early. A few more tips. Attend a Steps to Success workshop. Also, understand your program requirements and how to read your program evaluation. That will help you plan ahead in terms of which classes you need to take and which classes you've already completed. Again, if you have any questions, please see an advisor. But if we offer a group advising session through your classes or through your program, make sure you attend. We want to make sure we have time with all of you to talk to you about your individual goals here at Bunker Hill. The last thing is to utilize resources. These aren't all of the resources that we offer here, but these are some that might be helpful to you in your first couple of semesters. For instance, do you know that you can borrow a textbook from the Textbook Assistance Program for free each semester? We also have peer mentors in your classroom, a tutoring center specifically for developmental math, and Single Stop. Single Stop is a resource center for students to help with economic barriers to promote student success. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Again, make sure you come and see us, and we look forward to talking to you soon. Have a great day.